Hello, everyone, and welcome to another wonderful edition of TJ. Edition? Welcome to another wonderful edition of TJ Goes Live on the Internet and says things about movies. Some of those things may, in fact, end up being true. So tonight we have a duty to fulfill. We have a thing that we must accomplish because it is that time of year. We are less than 7 days away from the Academy Awards, which means we need to make our final Oscar predictions. And of course, we're going to do it in a special, unique way. Well, unique way. People have been doing this for years and years and years. We're going to do the old Cinemateq Oscar pool. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Let me blow this up for you guys. Ah, yeah. Look at that. Look at that larger text. Make my Oscar pool grow, throws the Rita Repulsa spear. So we're going to be filling this out. We're going to be talking about who I think is going to be winning in each of these categories. You guys are, of course, welcome to call me an idiot and say that I'm wrong and tell me who you think is going to win. Your opinions at this point are probably just as valid as mine. In fact, they always have been. But you are just as likely as being as correct as I am, because if you've been paying attention to award season, which I know all of you have been doing, well, there are just some categories that are super easy to call. But there are some toss-ups, thankfully. There is room for suspense in the Oscars this year, which is great. But first, naturally, must say hello to chat. Hello, chat. How are you? You are all one amorphous blob of humanity to me now. Hi, chat. Paul's here saying yee. Glad you're excited. Hello, everybody, says Fan Murata. I stopped watching season 3 of Ted Lasso to be here tonight. Well, I'm so happy that I could do that for you. Season 3 of Ted Lasso is not very good. So stay here as long as you can. Don't go back there. Howdy, says JP Contrary. Hello. I just saw an anime McDonald's ad. What a world we live in. It's true. We do live in an anime world now, except for some reason I haven't been able to pilot a giant mech in a war that I die super quickly in. So we're not totally into anime territory yet. Nice seeing you again, TJ. Thank you very much. Good to be here. We University saying hello. I hope Emma Stone will win. Well, we're going to be talking about very soon. Very soon. Hello, Easy For Me 20. Was good until I watched The Mummy 3 today. You were good until you watched The Mummy 3 today. Why would you go beyond The Mummy 2? Even that is not the bestest of movies, especially when you compare it back to the original Mummy. Not the one from the 1930s, not the Universal monster film. Of course, I'm talking about Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz getting down in 1999's The Mummy. God, that's a good movie. I need to watch the movie. I have been on the fence buying the 4K of that for so long, but if you guys go to Blu-ray.com, which, by the way, is maybe the best website in the world. Like, I have a huge soft spot for websites that just try to archive fucking everything. Like, everything in a particular category, I love it. You got this. You got like the metal archives for heavy metal music. I'm sure there are other ones as well. Wikipedia, I guess, would be a good example of that, literally trying to archive everything. But like, there's just so much shit here. Like, what is this? Halloween H2O 20 years later, 4K Blu-ray. That's coming? No way. I mean, I'm not going to buy this. I do not love H2O that much, but still, that's cool. That's a cool thing. Anyways, what was I just about to look up? Oh yeah, The Mummy. The Mummy. Not the Mummy trilogy, not the Ultimate Collection, just The Mummy 4K from 1999. And like, there's literal reviews in here that are just like, oh, the packaging is terrible. Yeah, due to scratches received in transit under the stress of the packaging, I was unable to view the movie from the 58-minute mark forward without chapter skipping ahead to chapter 12, which represents about 20 minutes of playback, which is not good. And then, yeah, you go down in here. I don't know. There's all kinds of forums and shit in here. Packaging discussions. I seem to remember people talking about it being poorly packaged. Maybe I'm making things up, though, so I don't have to justify not buying a really cool movie for, like, God, I don't know, $20? 14.70. Wait, is this in Canadian dollars right now? What are you trying to do here? What are we doing? It's not going to switch, is it? All right, well, that doesn't matter. What did you think of Heavy Metal in 4K? Is a very interesting movie. Very interesting movie. And by interesting, I mean, holy shit. I think that entire movie was written by horny 14-year-olds with a ginger fetish. Do you know how many animated naked gingers I saw while watching that, like, 86-minute long movie? At least 3. Which is exactly 3 more than I always expect to see. Ridiculous. That movie's ridiculous. Although, the last vignette, the last 20 minutes of it, that's super rad. That's super cool. I was really into that. I was into the rest of the movie as well. Like it's a pretty interesting way of doing an anthology film, especially when you consider that the Heavy Metal magazine is itself an anthology magazine. And so yeah, the way that they sort of brought everything together, had all these little different segments stitched together and have like a common narrative throughout. It's an interesting way of approaching something like that, and I think they allowed the source material to inform their overall approach, which was the right move. It was the right move. So good for you, Heavy Metal, and yeah, I'm glad I have it. It looks great. The 4K transfer looks fantastic, but that's like almost always the case with animation. Like if you can just clean it up, 4K animation always looks incredible. Always, always, always. I did a Michael Douglas double feature, Basic Instinct and Falling Down. I tried to have the headcanon that Douglas's character is the same in both films. Like he's the one dude in Basic Instinct, and then after his life gets turned upside down, he turns into defense from falling down, and then he just finally breaks because like he's just had too much. I could see that happening. I like The Mummy 2 more than most, so thought it might be better than others, but no. Mummy 3 is just not a good movie. It's like objectively not good. As soon as you decide that like, oh, Rachel Weisz is not going to be in this movie, we better recast her with Maria Bello. No knock against Maria Bello, but like honestly, considering in The Mummy 3, I think they were trying to do like if I remember correctly, they tried to have like a father-son type thing there. Just kill Rachel Weisz's character off screen and let them have like a father-son kind of arc in that film. Like just do that instead. You do not need to bring Maria Bello in to replace Rachel Weisz. And once again, no knock against Maria Bello. She's really good. But she's not Rachel Weisz. She's just definitely not Rachel Weisz in the first 2 Mummy films. So, yeah. Don't do that. Just kill the character off screen. It makes everything so much easier for everyone involved. Speaking of making things easy, Oscar prediction time. Let's get this going. So we are doing the Cinemateq Oscar pool once again, which means if you fill this thing out and you do the things you need to do in order to qualify, then you will be eligible for a prize. And that prize will likely be me asking you to tell me what your favorite movie is or something that you're looking for on 4K or Blu-ray. And then I'm going to go on the Amazon of whatever country you live in, and I'm going to buy that thing for you and send it to you within reason. There's going to be a price limit as always, like 20 to 30 bucks, something like that. But you're going to win a prize, and I'm going to send it to you, and you're going to have that prize. Top prize wins only. Winner take all, unless there's a tie, in which case I have never in my life devised a tiebreaker. Maybe there'll just be 2 winners in that case. You know what? I'm feeling charitable. So get involved. Now, in order to qualify, you have to do a couple of things. And really the thing that you need to do is give me an email or a Discord name, because I do need to be able to contact you. I need to be able to ask you and verify that it's you that I'm talking to and just say, hey, what thing do you want me to send to you? Okay, let's go there. Let's figure it out. But if you don't want to be involved in that process, just leave this blank. And we won't have to worry about it. But you do need to give me a name. because we're going to be doing live rankings during the Oscar live stream. And you're going to want to know how well you're doing, right? I assume so. I think you do. So please do that. Also, I don't know if this is a new thing with Google Forms, but it is doing like record the thing to be included with my responses. Like, I did everything that I normally do with this, and I didn't like click anything extra to do that. So I don't know what that is. I apologize, but I think you can just click that off and maybe you can still fill it all out. I don't know for sure. But why don't we now get into predicting how the Oscars are going to go. First up, Best Visual Effects. We got The Creator, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Apparently it is actually called Dead Rockening Part 1. We're going to be rocking out with our Dead Rockening. Jesus, I wonder if that's the only typo. I thought I checked all this. So this category, I'm not entirely sure what to do with it. I would have guessed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, although if I remember for the BAFTA award for this, I was looking this up earlier, yeah, Poor Things won the BAFTA, which like tells us literally nothing for this at all since it's not here. And what I also found interesting was that if you go to Gold Derby for this, where is it? Visual Effects. They have Godzilla -1 winning, which I was surprised by. I would have thought it would have been either Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 or Mission Impossible. I don't know where this is coming from, and I kind of don't want to trust it, but it's also pretty in the lead. We also have Variety pulled up here. What are you talking about? I spell things correctly. Visual Effects. They have The Creator winning, which is an interesting pick, but I don't think it's the correct one. Because I could easily see Guardians or Mission Impossible taking it over Creator. Like, I guess maybe because The Creator had a low budget, but I don't know. I don't know. My app has The Creator. This is easy. The Academy doesn't like franchises. They can avoid it. So they go to The Creator. I don't know. It's a toss-up between The Creator and Godzilla for me. Yeah. This is one that I'm real iffy on. But you know what? I don't know. Something about this is just screaming Guardians of the Galaxy for me. Guardians of the Galaxy. Hey, I didn't misspell that. I didn't misspell that at all. Shit. I'm gonna go. I should have. See, this one, I was so sure coming into this it was gonna be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and then as soon as I started checking all of this other stuff, I suddenly became like way less sure of myself. I would really love to know why all of these Gold Derby people are picking Godzilla -1. Like, what is the rationale that's leading to this? Because as far as I know, Godzilla -1 hasn't won anything up until now. Maybe it's a sentimental favorite. Maybe they just think that this is going to be one that is going to get awarded because a lot of people really loved Godzilla -1 and they want to give it something. But I don't know. Also, is this thing out of focus? What's going on here? All right, there we go. How could it lose focus on this fucking bald skull? Come on. This isn't difficult. I'm going to stick with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 for now because that was my pick before I started checking like Gold Derby and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go with that. Next one for film editing. This one's easy. Oppenheimer's going to win. I'm not even going to bother to read the other nominees because they're not going to win. Oppenheimer is going to win. I think if you were to check Gold Derby and Variety, they're also picking this as well. I think Oppenheimer for a lot of the technical awards is going to win. So yeah, film editing, Oppenheimer, very easy. Lock it in. Best costume design. We've got Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. All very good in the costume department. I feel like Barbie wins this one though, because I don't know if this is true or not, but I want to believe that like, I don't know. I don't know. Now I'm starting to think about this. I was about to say like usually period pieces do better, but I don't think Oppenheimer is like enough of a period piece. I don't think it goes back far enough. So really in that case, it would be Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, and Poor Things, but the costumes in Barbie were incredible. and were a big part of the storytelling. So I think I'm going to stick with Barbie. I'm going to stick with Barbie. I am curious to see what Gold Derby is saying, though. Costume design. Okay, they have Barbie as well. Although it seems like it's a bit of a toss-up. Almost a toss-up between that and Poor Things. So could go either way. Best makeup and hairstyling. I'm going Poor Things for this. I think in some of the other places, like Variety, they have maestros winning, which I honestly just don't see it. Like, yeah, Bradley Cooper had to wear like a prosthetic nose, but when you think about makeup and hairstyling, there's way more going on in Poor Things than there is in Maestro. Especially when you just look at Willem Dafoe and everything that they had to do with his face. Poor Things is by far like more and better prosthetic work. So I think Poor Things win this. Although, once again, like, just to show you guys that I'm not just voting for whatever Gold Derby is doing. Like, they have Maestro ahead. Not by much in terms of odds, but I'm absolutely sure that Poor Things is going to win this. Like, I feel really good about this. But it is a bit of a toss-up, but depending on where you look. So be warned. Don't do what I do. Except for Best Cinematography, which is going to be Oppenheimer. If you don't put Oppenheimer, you're going to fucking lose. This is one of the really obvious one, guys. 100% locked in. El Condi, no one heard of it until it got nominated for an Oscar, even though it's a Pablo Larraín film, and obviously he works with really good cinematographers. Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, and Poor Things are here as well, but it's Oppenheimer. Like, if you just want to go by what it's won already, it already picked up the BAFTA. I'm pretty sure it picked up the Golden Globe. Like, it's just been winning this award over and over and over again. So yeah, Oppenheimer. Best production design is interesting. Because for me, I think this is Barbie versus Poor Things. And I don't know which one Academy voters are going to think is more impressive, right? Poor Things, I guess you could argue that there's more like inventiveness, but I think with Barbie, especially when you go outside of like the architectural aspects of the production design, there is a lot of creativity going on there. It's not like, you know, what Ben Shapiro was saying months and months and months ago by saying, oh yeah, it's not impressive making all of these Barbie houses because you're just building the Barbie houses. But like, that's obviously stupid because Ben Shapiro is obviously stupid. So, I mean, he's probably an intelligent person to some degree, but he's talking shit to stir up controversy because he's a fucking asshole. And that's a fact. That's not an opinion. So, yeah. I'm not sure how to feel about production design. What does chat think? Chat, tell me what you think about this. About best production design. Gold Derby, I think, has Barbie and Poor Things like pretty much neck and neck. Yeah, they've got it as a toss-up. It makes it difficult. It makes it difficult to choose. I don't know. I have a feeling that Poor Things wins this. Can we look at the BAFTAs again? Because I think these two actually went head-to-head, right? Let's just do a little extra research here. Production design. Yeah, Poor Things beat out Barbie at the BAFTAs. So that says to me that the British contingent will at least most likely be voting for Poor Things. And I don't know. There's probably like a guild award that we could look at. But I think I'm going to go with Poor Things with this. They split the vote and Oppenheimer wins. No, I mean, they don't do a ranked ballot they only do a ranked ballot or a different style of ballot for Best Picture. For these ones, it's just like the one with the most votes wins. So like vote splitting can't happen here, hopefully. So now we have Best Sound, which is The Creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, not Rockening, got it that time, Oppenheimer, and Zone of Interest. And I think a lot of people are going to be tempted to put Zone of Interest here. I don't think it's going to be Zone of Interest. I think Zone of Interest did have great sound, but I think that Oppenheimer, not because it had the best sound, but because it's just going to win all of the technical awards, I think it's going to win because of that. It's going to do what like Mad Max Fury Road did, where it just won all of the technical awards. It won cinematography, it won editing, it won sound. It just got all of those. I think one of the Bourne movies did it as well, the Bourne Ultimatum. And I think Oppenheimer's on that same kind of trajectory. Zone of Interest is real good for this. And you could make real good cases for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning as well. A really good case for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning as well. But I think Oppenheimer is it's just the one that has, you know, it's really good audio, and also it's the most nominated film. And I think it's going to be this. I think it's going to be this. Hey, we've got a first-time chatter. Peter Puffer. Oppenheimer is this year's The English Patient. Yeah, but Oppenheimer is fun to watch, which is a big difference. But thank you so much for joining in and getting in the chat. So now we move on to Best Original Song. We've got, oh, actually, for Best Sound, why don't we just go back? Since I think this might be a bit of a controversial pick. So they have Oppenheimer as well. Wow, by a lot. Okay. I didn't think it was going to be that. Damn. How do I predict the Oscars like you're doing right now? Oh, yeah, I probably should have explained. There is a ballot that you can fill out. I'm filling out that ballot right now, and it's linked below the video. You'll see that there is the Cinemateq Film Award ballot, which, by the way, tonight is your last night to fill that out. So fill that out tonight. Like, when the stream ends, voting is closed. So please go do that. Do that now. Do that as quickly as possible. If you're watching the VOD of this later, it's already too late. You had your chance. But if you haven't filled out your Cinemateq Film Award ballot yet, go down there and fill that out right now. And then also there is a Cinemateq Oscar pool, which you can fill out, which is what I'm filling out right now. TJ is a cinephile supreme. That is true. I hope Zone of Interest wins. Hey, it might happen. All right, Best Original Song. We've got Flamin' Hot, Barbie, American Symphony, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Barbie once again for What Was I Made For versus I'm Just Ken. So I think this is What Was I Made For. It won, I think, everything. It even won a Grammy Award as well. Like, it's just been winning all the time. I think there was maybe one instance where I'm Just Ken won the award, and that was, I think, the Critics' Choice. But I think what was I Made For is it's just going wild, it's going crazy, and it's gonna win. It's gonna be the winner. It has all the momentum, and I don't see it going any other way. Just to double check. Song, What Was I Made For? Right there at the top. Yeah, that's pretty much in line. Best Original Score. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think that Killers of the Flower Moon had the best score. It did. But I think Oppenheimer wins this. Oppenheimer won Best Original Score at the BAFTAs. I'm not sure if there is like a score guild or a music guild that voted on this, but Oppenheimer doing well at the BAFTAs, I think, is very indicative that this is going to be another one of those categories that it kind of just steamrolls through. Because, and I haven't said this before yet, it's going to be Oppenheimer's night. It is Oppenheimer's night to lose. I think Poor Things is going to come in and it's going to get a couple here and there. But essentially, it's Oppenheimer's night. So if you're a little bit worried, you don't really know what to pick, especially outside of like hair and makeup, costumes, production design, Oppenheimer will probably lead you to the correct answer in almost every occasion. So for Best Original Score, I am going to pick Oppenheimer as well. TJ, start making Snapchat filter voices of Ben Shapiro face and performing Shapiro histrionics. You mean like the lead character in Do Not Expect Too Much from the End of the World with her Andrew Tate TikToks or Snapchats? Suppose I could do that. How do I find the link? I mean, I guess I could just put it in the chat. Hold on one second. Whoop. I could do that too. But yeah, it should just be linked right below the stream you're watching, depending on how and where you're watching it. Google Drive. I'm gonna go to my Google Drive. I'm gonna drive it real well. Like my Mercury truck. Did Mercury make trucks? Impossible to tell. Impossible to say one way or the other. There we go. There. 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 Go fill out that form. And you're gonna be gravy. Which means good, probably. Ray Liotta should have got a posthumous Oscar nom for supporting actor for Cocaine Bear. No. But I like the joke. All right, everyone. Here's where I have to make a confession. I'm not going to say that I fucked up this year. I'm not going to say that. But I have not watched any of the short films. So I'm pretty much just going to be going with what Gold Derby and Variety tell me for shorts. I know that I have failed you in this way. I am sorry. But at the same time, I couldn't be bothered. I got into this mood the last couple of weeks where it was a big struggle for me to watch like award films, quote unquote. I wanted to watch Dune, so I went to go see Dune. I wanted to watch Hong Kong action films, so I watched Righting Wrongs and shit like that. I just could not be bothered to do this. So, best animated short film, we've got here at Gold Derby. They seem to think that Letter to a Pig is going to win. Did that play at TIFF? Is that what that's saying right there? But also, War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko, is also high up. Animated short also... animated short. They also... Wait, no. They have here on Variety, War is Over, inspired by John and Yoko. But they have Letter to a Pig as a could win. So... That seems to be the one. Pick the pig one, you're vegan after all. Yeah, but what if a bad thing happens to the pig? Alright. I guess this makes the most sense. I mean, if you don't know, then that's what Gold Derby and Variety and those other places are there for, is to help guide you. Letter to a Pig is what my app tells me. What app are you using? 95 Senses is the best one, but it won't win. Yeah, I mean, that's often the case with the short films. There was one year where I went against the grain and just voted for the one that I thought was actually just the best, and it ended up paying off with a win. But without that information, I don't really know. Best live action short film. This one I didn't actually need to see any of them because, of course, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar is going to win. That is the Wes Anderson short, and I have a feeling that they're just going to want to give Wes Anderson an Oscar, and this is the way that they're going to do it, by giving him a short Oscar, a tiny Oscar. It'll be this big. But you can see here, pretty much everyone else is saying the same thing, although I think Variety said that Red, White, and Blue should win. So, could be a potential upset. Maybe this could be a ballot killer, although something tells me that's not going to be the case. The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, definitely. And also, just to like go back to the Wes Anderson part, he's been nominated before. He knows how to campaign. If he wants this, it's his. He just has to go for it. So I think that one's pretty much a lock. And then the best documentary short film. It is probably, and honestly, I'm just going by titles here. It's probably the ABCs of book banning because it's very much a hot topic issue in America right now. Books being banned from libraries for all kinds of reasons, mostly ridiculous. In fact, probably all ridiculous. And I think that this is going to be a subject that a lot of members of the Academy are going to latch onto. And even just from the perspective of a title, like imagine you're an Oscar voter who, like me, has just not bothered watching any of the documentary or any of the short film categories. Which of these titles stands out to you the most? Is it the ABCs of book banning, The Barber of Little Rock, Island in Between, The Last Repair Shop, or Nai Nai and Waipo? It's the ABCs of book burning. That's a great ass title. So I'm thinking this is ABC's A Book Burning. I think, yeah. There's a little bit. It's not like a huge slam dunk, but it's mostly a slam dunk. The ABC's A Book Banning and The Last Repair Shop 1-2. Top choice for a lot of people. But the odds are close. The odds are close. So, Barbara won Critics. Critics' Choice was a while ago, though, and I don't know how well publicized that was. Wes Anderson doesn't do much press. There are barely any interviews. For Asteroid City, he only did the Elvis Mitchell podcast. This is not the strategy of a man who cares about awards. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. He did direct it, though, and I imagine his name would be on the ballot. So Oscar voters who don't know one way or the other might just go with the name that they recognize. Although maybe in the short category, maybe they don't. It's hard to get into the head of like an entire group of thousands of voters, you know? But I still feel confident with the ABC's of book banning, just because I think this is going to be a subject that a lot of people who are voting are going to be very attuned to. Like, book banning has been a big topic of conversation for a while, especially in the United States. So that feels right to me. That feels okay. Documentary feature. This is easy. I have seen Four Daughters and I have seen 20 Days in Maripol. Four Daughters is the better documentary for me, because I like documentaries that play with form, that do something different with the aesthetics of documentary. 20 Days in Maripol is going to win, though, because it's a documentary about the Ukraine war. It shows you all of the crazy stuff that happened in the first 20 Days in Maripol. That's literally the name of the film. And it fucking breaks your heart in a way that Four Daughters just simply doesn't. Although I will say that Four Daughters did have kind of a big sort of like, oh shit, this went in a direction I didn't expect. So yeah, I think it's going to be 20 Days in Maripol. I think there's going to be, I think there's a lot of support for this film. I just think some of these other films are a little bit too small to compete. 20 Days in Maripol's been getting a lot of the attention. I think someone in chat just said that it won BAFTA and it won Critics. Yes, it's been doing really well in award season so far. Obviously, as a Canadian, I would like to see To Kill a Tiger win, but I don't think that for these purposes, it's going to be anything other than 20 Days in Maripol. But, you know, The Eternal Memory is supposed to be fantastic. The director of that made another Oscar-nominated documentary, so they have good pedigree. They've once again been through this process that could help them. But I think it's 20 Days in Maripol. I really do. And I think Gold Derby agrees with me as well. Yeah. Ooh, by a lot. Yeah. There's poor To Kill a Tiger right there at the bottom. Best international film. Hey, can you guys guess what's going to win this one? Between El Capitano, Perfect Days, Society of the Snow, Teacher's Lounge, and Zone of Interest. Teacher's Lounge, obviously. Just kidding, it's Zone of Interest. Good Lord, is it going to be Zone of Interest. It's going to Zone of Interest so hard. So hard on Sunday. Zone of Interest going crazy. So yes, Zone of Interest, absolutely. Also, while there's a fair number of you watching, the Cinemateq Film Awards are happening this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mark it in your calendar. Make sure to get your asses back here, because I am going to be revealing who has won all of the categories in the Cinemateq Film Awards. We're doing it. I'm going to get a little bit dressed up. I may have a little bit of boozy booze with me, and we are going to reveal, well, I'm going to reveal the winners. It's going to be a great little stream, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come hang out on Saturday, this Saturday, and then don't forget to come back on Sunday for the Oscar live reaction stream, which will include, of course, figuring out who won this gosh darn little thing. Now, best animated feature, Spider-Man. And I was thinking up until a little while ago that it was The Boy and the Heron. But Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse won so many of the Annie Awards, I think it's gonna be able to cinch this in the end. But this is a toss-up in my mind. I think you could pick either of these two and have like essentially a 50-50 chance. In fact, I think animated feature here, yeah, this is one of the closest races in for the whole award show. This is one where there's actually going to be some excitement. There's going to be some edge of your seatness. And like look at the third choice, 40. Like no one, barely anyone even thinks that it's going to be anything other than Spider-Man or Boy and the Heron. I think it's Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man's going to come out on top, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it was the Boy and the Heron. And this could be another category that breaks your whole ballot. So I'm saying Spider-Man. I think it's got it. I do think it's got it. Although, what do they do with the BAFTAs, actually? I just want to revisit that. Do they do Best Animated Film here? And why can't I see? Oh, animated. They gave it to the Boy and the Heron, eh? But the Annies gave it to. But the Annies. Hold on, let's think about this. The BAFTA is everyone who's a part of the British Film Academy, whereas the Annies are only animators, which would represent part of the animator branch. So just based on that, the Boy and the Heron might actually be the better pick. Ooh. Do I talk myself into it? It can't, like, the BAFTAs sometimes fuck up. I mean, the BAFTAs are a weird one. I'm going to stick with Spider-Man. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to talk myself out of it. Okay. Best adapted screenplay. Also, by the way, Chad, let me know what you think about that decision. I've been searching for the Barbie novel that Greta Gerwig and Baumbach adapted, and I can't find it. See, it's not actually adapted from a book. It's all of the different Barbie DVDs that came out when you were younger, presumably. 20, 30 years ago. VHSs even. Best adapted screenplay. We got American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Zone of Interest. And as much as I hate to admit it, I kind of think it's going to be American Fiction. Barbie hasn't won anything for this. Oppenheimer has had plenty of chances and hasn't won anything for this. Even in the BAFTAs, which were definitely very favorable to Oppenheimer, I'm pretty sure American Fiction won that. Poor Things hasn't done great in this category. And Zone of Interest, I don't even know why it's here. I haven't really seen it anywhere else. So I kind of feel like it's almost a de facto pick in this case because it has done somewhat better than the others at other award shows. Yeah. Also, the people talking about like Barbie novel, there probably have been Barbie novels. Like, do you really think that Mattel would let that just go by? All right, let's look at some Barbie books here. Which one was Barbie the movie adapted from? Listen to the Heart, obviously. Barbie Rockin' Royals. Oh yeah. God, what am I even doing with my life? Best original screenplay. If you don't know what to vote here, you are very, very lost. It's Anatomy of a Fall. For sure. Nothing is going to stand in the way of Anatomy of a Fall winning. It's won this category a bunch already. I don't know if it would have been eligible for the WGA, but it doesn't matter. Anatomy of a Fall wins. It's barely even worth talking about. The Oscars hate Barbie. They reluctantly nominated it for the views. So, like, I understand what you're getting at with that comment, but you have to remember that, like, the Academy is many people from all walks of life from all over the world. They don't vote as a block. They don't vote with a particular intention. It's just a lot of people having their say about an art form, right? So I don't think that Barbie is getting nominated for the views. I think Barbie's getting nominated because in a lot of ways it was one of the best films of the year, and it deserved to get nominated, probably more than it did. But yeah, I don't think they're going for the views. You probably just said that in jest, but I also feel the need to point that out as often as I can. I don't like it when people try to reduce the Academy voters to like this block, this uniform block, because it's so much more than that. Hey, look, it's Best Supporting Actress time, and the winner is Lily Gladstone. Oh wait, nope, can't do that because of bullshit. Divine Joy Randolph is going to win this. This is another one of the huge slam dunks. If you do not vote for Divine Joy Randolph, you are a dumb person. You're doing dumb things. But hey, if you feel the need to vote for like Jodie Foster, do it. Do it. I would love to do better than you in this Oscar pool, because if I win, that means I get to buy myself a movie, which is fun for me. Maybe it'll be The Mummy. All right. Best Supporting Actor. This is another slam dunk. Of course, it's going to be Ryan Gosling. No, it's not. It's Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer. He's won everything. It's not even worth talking about. This is a super boring category. Best Actress. Now this is a fun category, because up until a certain point in time, Emma Stone was kind of running away with this. Both Gladstone and Stone won the Golden Globe, but they were in split categories, so they weren't in the same category, I mean to say, so that really wasn't a head-to-head. And then in all the head-to-heads after that, it was Emma Stone, except for the SAG Awards, which just happened. So I think there's some interesting shenanigans or maybe mental gymnastics you can do here when you want to try to talk yourself into thinking that Emma Stone is going to win. Lily Gladstone got totally snubbed by the BAFTAs, which I think really hurt her. And Emma Stone then went on to win that category. But then Lily Gladstone won the SAG. So the thing you have to ask yourself is, was there enough time for Oscar voters as a whole to see Gladstone as the SAG winner before their voting window closed? And how much does that affect votes when you consider that Emma Stone was winning pretty much everything for the majority of that window being open? I think that plays to Stone's favor, and I think that Emma Stone actually wins. I also think that Emma Stone wins this because she was actually the lead actress in her film, unequivocally. In Lily Gladstone's case, she's either sharing that honor with Leonardo DiCaprio, depending on how you look at it, or she is a supporting performer, which she is, in my opinion. So I think that, especially, I don't want to say Academy members. Some Academy members might recognize that to be the case, but I think the people who have seen both films are going to be able to say, like, yeah, Lily Gladstone's real good, but she's not the lead, and Emma Stone is going to win it because of that. So I'm going to say Emma Stone. Best Actor. Back to the boring categories. It's Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer. Of course he's going to win. He's won everything so far. No one stands a chance. I think people want to try to talk themselves into Paul Giamatti winning. He won, I think, the Critics' Choice Award, but this is Cillian Murphy's to lose. I think he won the Golden Globe, he won the BAFTA, he won the SAG. Like, it's done. It's done, it's dusted. Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer. There you go. Best Director. Another one of the really boring awards. Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan's going to win. No one can touch him. He's won this award a bunch already. He won the BAFTA. He won the DGA. He's just on a really good run. And I think when you put together all of the other things that Oppenheimer is going to win for, like 2 of the acting awards, editing, cinematography, sound, which I've also predicted, Oppenheimer for Best Director just makes the most amount of sense. It's the most winningest film of the night. And I think Christopher Nolan, especially with the way that he's presented himself as being this sort of like in control director, not leaving things to chance and things like this, that kind of, mythology built up around him will serve him well in this case. I think Oppenheimer wins Best Director. Christopher Nolan wins Best Director. It's basically a lock. And then we have Best Picture, the big old poobah of the evening. And I wish I could say that this was an interesting category, but it's not. because Oppenheimer wins. Oppenheimer, I think, is going to win at least 7 awards on the night. It's going to win Best Picture. I think it won, Best Ensemble at SAG. It won Best Picture at the BAFTAs. It's been winning a lot. It's been winning a lot of stuff. And so Oppenheimer is your winner here. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go back to the very first one. Best visual effects. You know what? It's true. They're not going to give it to a big film, or they're not going to give it to Guardians. And I think that Mission Impossible, I think a lot of its effect work is going to be stunt work, so maybe people don't go with that. You know, fuck it. Let's have some fun. Let's give one to the big green lizard from Japan. Yeah, I like that. If I lose because of Godzilla -1, I don't care, because we're all -1 in our hearts. So that's it. That's my ballot. I feel pretty good about this. I'm going 23 for 23. No one's going to beat me. The Cinephile Supreme. Actually, you know what I need to do? Cinephile Supreme. Because if I lose, it'll be even funnier if this is my name. And I'll just put TJ. So, there we go. Done, dusted, submitted. Bam. Did it do it? Did it submit? I think it did. Do I submit again? Okay, there we go. I don't know why I had to click submit twice. That was weird. Also, you can edit your response if you want to. The Oscar pool is going to be open for getting your stuff into probably up until like maybe an hour before the Oscars start. I'm going to be starting my live stream about 2 hours before the Oscars begins to do a bit of a pre-show, to look at all of the people who are, dressed up and stuff, and comment on the fashion, and to get a little bit boozed up as well. Actually, no, it's a work night. I'm not going to be drinking Oscar night. That's going to be Cinemateq Film Award time, though. That's for sure. But yeah, this will be open about maybe half an hour before the ceremony starts. So you have some time, but vote now, get it done. You know what you think is going to win. You don't need to wait, but you do have a bit of time if you need it. Okay. And then I'll just remind everyone who's watching again, please vote in the Cinemateq Film Awards. That ballot is ending tonight. When I go off stream, that is when it is over. That is when it is done. So you have that amount of time to figure out what the hell you're doing. Also, I just kind of want to check to see like how many people have actually voted in the Oscar pool. Oh, we're up to 12. Nice. But I want to see, okay. I can't tell you guys anything. But I'm just trying to see like how many, do we have any unanimous categories is what I'm looking at right now. Are there any unanimous categories? No, there are no unanimous categories. So there's going to be some separation, which you'll love to see. There's going to be some battles. There are a few of those categories that are actually pretty evenly split between a number of different people. Like, oh boy. Wait, what was that one? Ooh, that's going to be interesting. I did not expect that category to be a breaker. Holy shit. What else is another breaker? Oh, yeah. You expect that, though. You expect that. Right on. All right, well, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to beating all of you clowns. Oh, shit, can you? You can see the pie graph in the reflection of the Halloween poster. Yeah, but you can't tell, like, which one I'm looking at, right? Like, you don't know what category this is because it's too blurry. If you want to zoom in and enhance that Blade Runner style, you go right ahead. Where is the fur critic? He's sleeping because he is a cat. Hate to keep bringing up the app I use. Don't worry about it. Trailer time. Ooh, that brings me to an interesting topic of conversation. I heard someone that visual effects almost every time go to production that feels like Best Picture nominations. So Napoleon. No. No. That pie chart is best animated. I'm not going to say one way or another. Oh, you want me to talk about Willy Wonka? the the scandal? I don't know. I don't know if there's much to say about that, honestly. But I do. There is something I want to just address first. The person asking about trailers. So, guess what? The channel's gonna have to kind of change again. At this point, all of you guys are probably just like, you know what? TJ talks shit about how he's like inconsistent with his posting and everything, but I think his main consistency is that he's wildly inconsistent all the time. No one's ever accused me of being decisive, although actually some people have. So this isn't like a back to YouTube type thing, although, you know, streaming on Twitch, that could change at any moment. Who knows? But no, the thing that I need to talk about a little bit, can't get into too many details, but as many of you know, I got a new job in December, and I'm still there. And when I started at that job, I had a couple of very particular roles that were in no way facing clients. I was in no way involved in client stuff. But at the company that I work for, which for those of you who don't know is a major media company in Canada, there was a restructuring. TJ going to quit streaming again? No. I'm still here. They had a major restructuring not that long ago. And because of that, my job changed a little bit. And now I am somewhat on the client-facing sides of things. And those clients are putting out the movies that I occasionally talk about. And so obviously there is a conflict there that I need to be very conscious of. I can't be watching a trailer calling out that movie as looking like total shit and then turning around and having to be in a meeting with people from that exact same company. I'm sure you can all realize that that's something that I just can't do and that I refuse to do and that I won't do. It would be extraordinarily unprofessional. And I see you saying just don't react to those trailers. Remember when I said major media company? It's pretty much everything. It's pretty much everything. With an exception. With an exception. My company, for the most part, is not interested in old stuff. Oh, I didn't get... Oh, no. Don't... No. I did not get promoted. My job was changed because a number of people were laid off. It was not a promotion. I'm still a contract employee, actually. I'm not a full employee. But basically I basically can't talk about American, like mainstream American film. TJ's job changed because someone else was promoted. Nope. Nope. You guys really don't know what corporate speak for restructuring is, do you? You'll find out one day, trust me. But yeah, I basically can't talk about, or I'm not going to talk about, no one has said this to me publicly. I'm taking this on myself because I'm a goddamn professional. But yeah, I basically just cannot talk about major American cinema anymore. So instead, I think that a lot of time, is going to be dedicated in the for original videos for the YouTube channel and for just chatting on stream and stuff like that, is going to be dedicated to more of the hobbyist physical media space, talking about places like Vinegar Syndrome, Criterion Collection, Radiance Film. I think someone in the chat mentioned them recently. Those kinds of distributors who I don't deal with, or will not be dealing with in my augmented position. So yeah, we can still watch trailers, but it's going to be trailers for like the new films coming out on Vinegar Syndrome or the new films coming out on the Criterion Collection, that kind of stuff, which will still allow us to talk about movies, to critique trailers, to look at the way that things are cut together. Um, so you can't discuss film news. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. I probably can talk about film news, but it would be in very specific cases. I'll have to think about that one a little bit more. Like, I'm always I'm always going to talk about labor actions. So like nothing in my job says that I can't nothing in my current job says that I can't go on to live stream and talk about like how studios are screwing over like the workers. Like I'm not going to shy away from that, but I do need to be cognizant of the relationships that I'm building in the industry and not like annoying people or pissing them off or doing something or saying something that could cost that could affect a deal, right? I can't do that. I can't do that. But I don't think being pro labor in this industry is going to be a problem there. So yeah, I would still talk about that. I would Yeah, I'd probably have to dial back on talking about a lot of film news because there are some things that I'm just going to know about that the public might not know yet just through conversations with different stakeholders and things like this. So, yeah, it would probably be better for me to like not comment on a lot of film news. Although for things like, casting and film announcements and stuff like that, I don't think there'd be a problem there. Probably not anyways. But yeah, someone asked, does that mean no reviews of new films? Probably, yeah, probably. But I'm still gonna keep posting on Letterboxd. Still gonna keep posting on Letterboxd. That's a for sure thing that's gonna happen still, because I think that's like it's separate enough. It's separate enough where I think that's fine. Excuse me. And also, I'm really only watching films nowadays that are interesting to me, and very rarely I find that when I watch a film that I'm actually interested in seeing, and I'm not treating it like an obligation, I usually end up liking the films that I was already predisposed to being interested in. Right, like I don't care about Hollywood blockbusters much anymore. So, and I'm not going to feel the need to go to the very first screening of those films just so I can review them on my channel, right? Like I'm not interested in that anymore. I'm not interested in trying to do that anymore. I do think though that doing like reviews for things like Tiger Cage, that Hong Kong action movie that I love, that would be great. That could be a service to humanity that I could fill, where I could just say to people, "Hey, you ever see this movie called Tiger Cage? Guess what? Fucking do it right goddamn now." Where is that Oscar ballot, TJ? I put the link here. I'll pin it if I can find it again. There we go. That's probably the one. There, I pinned it. It's right up at the top. Yeah, I know it's an ad break. So yeah, just like the stuff that I can talk about, that's gonna change. It's gonna change. Um, and yeah, I'm just gonna have to like think about it and also try to just be cognizant of the fact that I am very fickle. I think when it comes to making content, when it comes to like formats and stuff, I get bored so easily of doing the same thing over and over again that I'm probably going to end up just making a bunch of different stuff all the time. And so I don't really know if there's gonna be like one style of content, one way of doing content. I don't know. I will also say that like I may stop streaming at one point. That might be a thing that happens, you know, because it's me. At this point, you know who I am. I am very all over the place when it comes to with this kind of stuff. May go back to YouTube. We'll see. I don't know. What? Andrea's here. How the hell did you know I was online? I didn't post this in your Discord. For those of you who don't know, everyone say hi to Andrea. She's way cooler than all of you, probably. She is the editor-in-chief of Rue Morgue magazine. We got a bona fide celebrity in chat. Oh, you follow me? Sick. Well, thank you very much for dropping by. I just filled out my Oscar pool, which you can, if you want to. I got it pinned up there. And Andrea Marty me? Oh, no. Oh, see. No. You know what? I'm deleting this second correction. I'm deleting the second. The first one was perfect. I don't know why you would think, wait, why can't I delete it? Damn it. Anyways, as soon as I read that Marty me, I was like, dude, that's some that is some Rick and Morty type shit. Oh my god. Anyways, as I was saying, I just filled out my Oscar ballot. We're playing for a movie that I'm going to send people, so you can fill that out if you want. Form is pinned up at the top. And aside from that, I think I also wanted to, on this stream, go over my Cinemateq Film Award ballot. Because for those of you who don't know, who are just joining us, I run my own Oscar-like show that is better than the Oscars. We do things way better here. And I think I had a couple of things on my ballot that I needed to correct or update because I have seen a few movies since the last time I did this. So, oh shit, right, I forgot. Doing things a little bit differently with that. Gotta find the link, which I know is right below the video, but I'm not looking at the video right now. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Switch account, because I don't want you guys to see my personal account. There we go. All right, so Cinemateq Film Award final ballot. We've got Killers of the Flower Moon. I had that. I'm keeping that. Best hair and makeup was Poor Things. Keeping that. Best costumes, Barbie. Keeping that. Production design, Barbie. Keeping that. Editing, yeah, Oppenheimer. Sound, Zone of Interest, yeah. Screenplay, Past Lives, yeah. Cinematography, Oppenheimer, yeah. Restoration, Thelma and Louise, of course. Although, man, fuck, Royal Warriors is so good. I kind of want to buy Royal Warriors. Is there like a, what is the box set? Is it In the Line of Duty? In the Line of Duty box set? Yeah. Ooh, I might get this. I might break down and get this one day. Because, like, In the Line of Duty 1 and 2, like, Yes, Madam and Royal Warriors is so good. So good. And then I think Donnie Yen comes into these in, like, the third movie. You can see him right there. And a bit of a smaller role. Love that. Also, speaking of Tiger Cage, look at that. There he is. Actually, you know what's hilarious about this? Donnie Yen is not the star of Donnie Yen is not the star of this movie, and yet there he is, right there in front. This guy I barely remember. Who's like this dude here? I think. Who? It's not Jackie Chan. It's like Jackie Chun or something like that. He really plays the Jackie Chan role in this film. I always wonder, and by always I mean within the last 2 weeks. Like, did they try to get Jackie Chan for this movie and then they couldn't? And this was like the guy that you got when you couldn't get Jackie Chan in Hong Kong in the late 1980s. Because he does a lot of that same Jackie Chan type physical comedy. Whereas Donnie Yen is just like serious, but also like blowing flour onto people. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. Wish Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is great. We lost TJ discussing the fact that the entire plot for Cody versus Acme got leaked. Oh, that's true. That's true. I did hear about that. But also, yeah. I mean, this art is sick. Oh, yeah, and Cynthia Rothrock? Cynthia Rothrock, I think. She's in the first movie, and Yes, Madam. You got Michelle Yeoh in the first two movies. Donnie Yen, I think, comes in the third one. This guy, I recognize him from something else, but I forget what it is. But yeah, this series, fuck it, I'm just going to talk about In the Line of Duty. This is what I mean. This is the stuff I want to talk about now. You know, I don't need to talk about the new movies that, you know, my company might get me in trouble for if I talk about them. Why don't we just talk about In the Line of Duty and how the first film, Yes, Madam, kicked off the girls with guns genre in Hong Kong? Isn't that way more goddamn interesting? I think so. But yeah, basically, I think I just said all of it. Michelle Yeoh, Yes, Madam, and Royal Warriors, the first two films in this box set. And because of the success of those films, you then get a lot of Hong Kong action films starring women, Michelle Yeoh being a big part of that. Magnificent Warriors, another great Michelle Yeoh film. We don't need to talk about that now. I was talking about something else. Oh yeah, my Cinemateq Film Awards thing. Dungeons and Dragons is best fantasy film. Nah, it's Beau's Afraid. I'm switching it up. Although, is Beau's Afraid a fantasy film? Yeah, it is. There's a giant penis in it. Best science fiction film, Godzilla -1, yeah. Best horror film, Talk to Me, yeah. Hey, Andrea, what would you vote for best horror film in this? Is Godzilla -1 a horror film? This was, for those of you who were not watching or who are seeing this for the first time, all of these nominees were voted on by the community. So I think close to 100 people gave us their nominations for this, and these were the top 5 horror films. And Andrea says, yeah, my number 1 is Talk to Me. There you go. It's like you've been here the whole time. TJ should become a full-time Hong Kong action movie reviewer. Don't tempt me with a good time. This is the thing, though. I'm really into Hong Kong action films right now. Who knows if that's going to be the case in like 2 months? So I think the best way to think about how content is going to work on this channel is that you're really just going to have a front row seat to my ever-changing film preferences and interests. And I'm probably going to have to try to like highlight that as I go as best I can, but we'll see. Some Godzilla is horror, but not that one. Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I think the first Godzilla from 1954 you could probably classify as a horror film, right? Like as a kaiju film, certainly, but that film is meant to be terrifying, especially with the way that they shoot Godzilla. The Killer was a comic book? Oh, yes, it was. You haven't seen Oppenheimer? I would say check it out. I think it was one of the better films of the year, especially from like a technical perspective. I think whether or not you actually like it is obviously going to depend on your taste. I can be the type of person who, like, if I see enough technical mastery, that can be enough for a film to convince me that it's actually good. And Oppenheimer had enough technical stuff going for it, as well as a couple of really good performances. And it also just has a kind of philosophy to filmmaking that I agree with, like this idea of not relying on a lot of CGI, of trying to tell a character-driven story, of having an interesting, or at least perhaps not as... They didn't go with like the obvious storytelling. They didn't make the obvious storytelling decision. I'll say that. But yes, The Killer, comic book movie. Best documentary, yeah, I'm changing this to 20 Days of Maripol. I just saw that. I have not yet seen Beyond Utopia or Pamela or Still, but 20 Days of Maripol like bodies American Symphony so goddamn hard. It's a really good documentary, but like don't watch it if you're trying to have a good time. If you purposely want to take your day and just say, you know what, I'm going to wrap that up in a little bit of tissue and then I'm going to shove it right down to the bottom of my garbage. I want my emotions to be the bottom of a garbage can that hasn't been taken out in 3 weeks and has been left outside in 40-degree heat. Like, if that's what you want your emotions to be, you watch 20 Days of Marple. Simple. Best first feature, Past Lives, that still stands. Animated feature, Spider-Man, naturally. Best non-English language film, Godzilla Minus One was the one I had the most fun with, so that's the one I'm going with there. Some performance is Dead Reckoning Part 1, because of course Tom Cruise jumping off of a cliff is awesome. Best supporting performance is Lily Gladstone. Best lead performance is Emma Stone. Best direction is Oppenheimer. Best film is Oppenheimer. Yeah. There we go. I guess maybe I should explain. Why I said that about 20 Days of Marple, because maybe that description was not specific enough as to why it makes you feel those emotions. There's a lot of dead children in 20 Days of Marple. And not only dead children, it's got a lot of maimed children who are taken to hospital. Remember, this takes place during the first 20 days of the Ukraine invasion, or the Russian invasion of Ukraine. It has a lot of moments where maimed children are taken to hospital, and then you get to watch doctors and nurses try to save these children, and they fail. So if that's what you want to watch, and honestly, it's one of those things where it's so traumatic that I think people do need to watch it so they can understand what it's like on the ground. There's a lot of distance created between, me in Canada, you in the United States. A lot of people here sitting in countries that are not the Ukraine. There's a lot of distance, both physical but also mentally, between what it is that's actually going on the ground, and to see very clearly in full color what is going on the ground in Ukraine, or at least what was happening in the early days of the war, and I assume is still happening now because the invasion is ongoing. This film serves as a way to just show you, without a lot of the other news media getting in the way of it, putting narrative and spin and what have you. It just shows you what's going on, and it's tragic and heartbreaking and terrible, very, very terrible. It's also a very good documentary. It's a very good documentary. They literally put their lives on the line to do that, to make that film. No noms for animation. I loved the art. What do you mean no noms for animation? There was category for best animated film, and I did Spider-Man for that. And yeah, the Ninja Turtles movie, as the other chatter said, came out in August. I feel like I saw it in July though, but I think I saw an early screening. I think they were trying to get people, trying to get the word of mouth going, and I was able to see an early screening of it, which I think was in July. But it's a good movie. I did like the Ninja Turtles animated film, but Across the Spider-Verse is just on a different level. Okay. What else was I going to do today? Because so we did the Film Awards final ballot. We did the Oscar pool ballot. I randomly ranted about In the Line of Duty parts 1 through 4, which I always meant to do. I was always going to be doing that. I think, this is the thing. I need to, now that I'm kind of changing up how content is going to work, I need to recalibrate the sources of where this stuff comes from. But I think people did want me to comment on the Willy Wonka thing. So let me just find that article. Yeah, let's go through this. So for those of you who don't know, a hilarious thing happened in Scotland, of all places, where fun things never actually happen. I guess someone was going to do one of these brand instances or whatever they call them, and they were going to do them for Willy Wonka, and it went horribly, horribly wrong, and apparently this thing ended up costing $40 a person or something like that to get into. So we can just kind of look at this little video here of what was going on. Actually, let me just see if I can get this a bit bigger for y'all. Make my monster grow. Yes. Rita Repulsa number 2. Number 2 reference. All right. Still blurry. I don't know why this thing isn't playing in 1080 like I'm telling it to. But yeah, here you can walk through this wonderful little rainbow that really takes your eyes away from all of the concrete, which is great, because the thing that I don't think about when I think about Willy Wonka is gray, drab, lifeless concrete. So it's nice that they have this single rainbow for you to walk through to take your eyes off of that. And then, as we move a little bit further in, what is this? Oh my God, is that a pipe? A single blue pipe that perhaps one of the children went through? I think the one that turned into a blueberry? Wow. Wow. Look at that single pipe that just starts somewhere and then goes somewhere else. It's not even an important part of the pipe. It's just the pipe. What? I can't understand this. And then as we pan around a little bit, we see a pack of cigarettes, maybe? I don't know what this is supposed to be in the background. It kind of, squint a little bit, it looks like a pack of Marlboros. Marlboros? Malbros? Malbros? A little bit. And I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit of a Nick fit coming on, you know? I don't actually smoke. I shouldn't say things like that. Don't smoke, kids. Then, of course, over here we have equations. That's a sine wave right there. So this is math. It's been a while since I've seen the Wonka films, and I haven't even seen the new ones, but maybe people in chat can remind me here. Was there math just right by the big cigarette packs? Was that a thing that was part of the experience of Willy Wonka? I just don't seem to remember Johnny Depp or Gene Wilder busting out the old chalk and doing math, or maths, I guess, because it is English. What is this? Indulge in chocolate fantasy like never before. Yeah. So this is, oh, I guess this is just going through the website. This is how they were selling it to people, which really just looks like AI generated art. Like, I bet if we were to go to Dali right now and be like, hey, make me some art that will allow me to scam a bunch of people and give children nightmares, this is probably what it would spit out. So yeah, there's that. There's more to it than just this, though. So I guess we're just gonna replay this. Yeah, there's looping this video. Okay, thanks a lot, time. It is AI generated art. Yeah, it's super looks AI. You lick the math wallpaper, and does it taste like chalk, do you think? Maybe it tastes like the depression that a high school 10th grade math teacher feels, knowing that the people that they're teaching are probably not going to do anything with what it is they're actually teaching. Maybe it tastes like that. That actually would have gone with the theme of this entire place. Was there even candy? So from what I've read about this, there was a single candy that you got. Like, it wasn't a Werther's original, but like that's the kind of thing that they were handing out. And then you also got like a little plastic cup of like dollar store lemonade. That was the whole thing. That was the whole thing. Oh yeah, so here's some more videos here. Script was 50. Oh yeah. There were also, I think they were charging like $40 a ticket or something like that. But yeah, there was also like, they got like actors to come in, and according to this, new details on the Willy Wonka experience disaster. I don't want to go to that place. Script was 15 pages of AI generated gibberish, made up a villain called the Unknown, an evil chocolate maker who lives in the walls. Event had no chocolate. Kids were given a single jelly bean and a cup of lemonade.
What is that? It's the Unknown.
Oh my God. The immediate reaction of the child. Can you guys hear that? Do I have the sound on? Hold on. Let's do this again.
What is that? It's the Unknown.
Yo, this doesn't even sound like a British person. Like, if they were to pay me to be Willy Wonka and they were like, all right, go pretend to be British, I would be like, What is that? It's the unknown. Like, it's the same thing. I sound exactly like this guy. Why does it look creepy? Because it is fucking creepy. Look at it. It's a guy in a reflective mask with fake long black hair and a black cloak, just peeking out from behind a very small mirror and acting like a villain from a Miyazaki film.
The undug.
Oh my god. Those kids crying. Oh my god. I didn't realize it was like this. I didn't realize it was this good. The guy playing Wonka, Willy Wonka is so bad. I know. You compared a Werther's original to a single jelly bean. I think the jelly bean was wrapped though. That's why. That dude needs lessons. Maybe he did this for the exposure. I don't know. Rooms. Hey, wait. What are you doing, TikTok? TikTok. You bastard.
Your imagination.
But you can, like, all of these cables are just visible. There's just a thing there for that child to pick up. What even is that? Should have just stolen it for the price of admission. The thing I just can't get over is how dead and lifeless it all looks. You know? Like, this wouldn't even cut the mustard as someone's Halloween decorations on their lawn. You know, it just looks so cheap and poorly executed. Like, if this was all of the props they had, right? If this was all that they had to work with, what you do first of all, you condense it into a much smaller space, and you take a little bit of the budget that you save from not having to rent out a fucking warehouse, and you buy grass, or you buy something that you put down. You buy a carpet, because whatever you're trying to do here is absolutely ruined by this drab concrete just everywhere. Like, imagine those. I don't even know if I want to give these guys tips or anything like that. So yeah, the event was organized by House of Illuminati. They're always up to no good. An experienced company with a London address. The company shared on its Facebook page on Wednesday in a post that was no longer visible Thursday that it understood the cancellation of something that was supposed to be an artist rendition of a well-known novel has caused disappointment, frustration, and anger. So it was an artist rendition. Imagine if that artist actually came out and said that this whole thing was meant to be like a critique of AI and how AI-generated art is like terrible and bad. That would actually be kind of interesting. But I don't think anyone has done that. So I don't think that's actually the case. On Monday, the company shared a screenshot showing 850 refunds. So yeah, they are actually paying all of the people back. It's Banksy. Yo, that's going to be the thing. 10 years from now, Sotheby's is going to be like, and now, up for auction, the green pipe that went to nowhere from the Wonka installation by Banksy. Do I hear $100 million for this wonderful Banksy piece to start off? Oh, Elon Musk, $120 million. Thank you so much for joining us. Because, of course, Elon Musk would spend $120 million on a fucking pipe. A paradise of sweet teats? Catchy tons? Wait, what? What are you doing? What are you saying? Wait, a paradise of sweet teats? Are you just, like, saying weird things in the chat to make me say weird things in the chat? To you? It's on the poster, was it? Oh, wait, I missed this. What is kagacting? Catgacting? Rocco, do you catgact? Is that a thing that cats do? He's looking at me like I'm a crazy person, which is correct. Carchy tons? Exastridae lollipops? Wait. Exastridrate? Dude, Chat GPT is not this bad. Maybe that's the thing that is so wild about this, is that if they had even used Chat GPT, it would have turned out better. Like, I imagine that this here is just like this is all AI art generation, and AI art generators do have a hard time with with text. ChatGPT, if you were to say like, hey, give me a bunch of puns for a Willy Wonka experience, it would actually give you better stuff than this. And it would they probably wouldn't misspell paradise and treats. Google Gemini is the new kid on the block. Oh yeah, maybe that's something we can talk about. Have you guys seen some of the things that I think is it Gemini that's doing it? No, what's the new AI video generator? Sora. Have you guys seen some of the stuff that Sora has done? Maybe Scientific America will show us examples. I'll accept the cookies. Sure. I'm hungry. Come on. Come on. Sorta? You've sorta seen them? Well, give me examples on Sora's website. Okay, so yeah. This is a fully AI generated video. Fully. The prompt here: a stylish woman walks down a Tokyo street filled with warm, glowing neon and animated city signage. She wears a black leather jacket, a long red dress, and black boots, and carries a black purse. She wears sunglasses and red lipstick. She walks confidently and casually. The street is damp and reflective, creating a mirror effect of the color lights. Many pedestrians walk about. So this was just made. You got like what? 50 words there, 50 to 60 words at best, and this is what you get. And like, it's not perfect, and I'm not the first person to say this or point this out. In fact, I'm probably just like paraphrasing what a lot of other people have said, but this is so good considering where we were with this kind of AI image and video generation, like even 6 months ago. Like, this is so good, and I'm going to bring up a very specific example here, which is, what's his name? The guy who does the Medea films, Tyler Perry. When I read this headline, I almost choked. Tyler Perry puts $800 million studio expansion on hold after seeing OpenAI's Sora. Jobs are going to be lost. This guy was about to invest nearly $1 billion to expand his studio space, the place where he shoots films in, I think, Atlanta, Georgia, in and around Atlanta, Georgia. He was about to spend $1 billion. And then he saw this and was like, nah, what's the point? Why would I bother? And I honestly kind of understand. If this in and of itself is impressive, but if you compare it to where we were, it's even more impressive. And when you compare it to where we could be in 6 more months, it's mind-boggling. And I think any union in the United States that is considering going on strike because they want to make sure that AI stays out of filmmaking, this just gave them every reason that they need to go as hard as they can and to go to the mat to make sure that you do not let AI into the creative arts, because this is nuts. It's simply just wild. Here's another one. Several giant woolly mammoths approach, treading through a snowy meadow. And oh man, like, yeah, when they're far away, they look better. When they get a little bit closer up, you can see the resolution. It's not as good. It's not as sharp. It does look a bit more fake. But like, look at the background. Look at the trees. This thing knows that when you get up to these kinds of altitudes, there is a tree line and there is a point where trees no longer continue to grow. So it's capable of understanding that aspect of geography, geology, climate, that kind of stuff. Like, if you were to just remove the woolly mammoths from this, right? And you were to say, okay, give me a shot that shows me a winter landscape with a mountain in the background and trees, but have it pan from left to right and have it be 20 seconds long, like, you could legitimately just have that as background for some kind of green screen type thing, or even use it as a placeholder for more advanced stuff that's going to be done down the line. Like, for people who are continuing to move into the digital space of filmmaking, this is a godsend to them. Like, imagine never having to pay a license fee for stock footage ever again, because you can just tell it exactly what you want. It's wild. This one's nuts too. Like, I think this is meant to be like kind of sci-fi. Oh yeah, and the prompt is to make a movie trailer, so there is an attempt here to create a narrative. And like just as a single shot, right? Like this one actually repeats quite a bit, but like just this is a single shot. That's pretty cool. You got the color pop in here from the lid, which is made out of yarn, I guess, and like it looks like yarn. It has good texture to it. You know, this is kind of like, excuse me, this is kind of real. This is kind of sandy. You got the nice blue sky, little cloud accents over here, and like one of the prompts here was shot on 35 millimeter film, so it's trying to give you that sort of like grainy 35 millimeter look. Obviously, I'm not really seeing any noticeable film grain here, but they're trying, but also, oh, that wasn't even an imperfection. That was just like some of the yarn sticking out right there. God damn. Here's a good example of what I mean when like stock footage is now dead. Like, why would you ever pay a website $300 or like even $20 for a drone shot of the coast when you can just get this? And now we're seeing something that's supposed to be CGI animated. Is Disney really going to keep paying all of the animators in Pixar and Disney Animation Studios all of that money when they can put in a prompt like this and get this? I mean, yeah, probably, because it's going to be a lot harder for them to be able to turn something like this into an actual narrative. But that doesn't mean that within a year there are not going to be companies who are going to be specializing in making that kind of animated film. Like, imagine you're in the kids' YouTube space right now, right? And you can just make a YouTube short, like a bunch of them for kids, and then you can just like kick back and make that ad revenue. I'm sure that there are already people trying to exploit this as much as they possibly can, which is like the weird thing with AI. Like, it seems like everything is like on the bleeding edge, but also but you can also be like late to the party very, very easily. Wasn't Gemini pulled though, or did Google put it back? I think no, Google had Bard, and then I think they rebranded it to Gemini. Isn't that what happened? Also, I don't know what this bird is. That's a pretty good looking bird. God damn it. Photorealistic close-up of two pirate ships battling each other as they sail inside a cup of coffee. Okay, so there you can see, if you look at like the way the ships are like sort of floating and like reacting to the waves, you can see there how it's like weird. Like this guy right here, that is a completely unnatural movement as it comes out of the water. The other one doesn't look that bad though. Gemini was pulled recently because it refused to show white people. Oh, right. And honestly, good for it. I'm tired of white people. But it went beyond that. It wouldn't show white anything. Really? That's interesting. So what would it do? Wait, so what would it do if you showed it, if you asked it for like snow? Like, give me a snowy scene. Would it all be piss snow? Would it be yellow tinted snow? When it asked to show vanilla ice cream and showed chocolate? God damn. How dare it besmirch the grand legacy of vanilla ice cream like that. Sorry, I was ranting for a bit. I wasn't paying attention to chat as much. And Hollywood really thinks that AI is going to replace human writers. I mean, when we're looking at AI language generation inside of like art, definitely not. But like, we did a thing not that long, well, I guess it would have been maybe a year or so ago now, when ChatGPT like really hit, where we asked it to write a script for like a Blade Runner short film sequel, and that script was actually not bad. Now, we also, in fairness, asked it to write a script that combined Top Gun with the Scream franchise, and the script that it gave us was so batshit crazy that I almost died laughing. But in certain instances, it does a good job. It does a good job. So yeah, don't be surprised. And remember, that was ChatGPT 3 we were on as well. They're already on the next version of ChatGPT, number 4. And who knows when ChatGPT 5 is coming out? Probably like tomorrow, maybe right now, with the way that these live streams usually go. So yeah, AI. It's fucking crazy, man. This is so funny though. This is the actor?
And I was one of the actors employed to play Willy Wonka at the Wonka's Chocolate Experience fiasco that happened in Glasgow this weekend.
Tell me more.
I'm going to be poking a little bit of fun at the event, but I wanted to say before I start that I feel for anyone who bought tickets to this event, people who are expecting a magical chocolate experience and got me in a top hat.
Turn the comments off.
In Glasgow.
Nice.
People who wanted Timothy Chalamet and got Timothy Charlatan. But I am going to tell kind of my side of it as an actor who was employed at this event. So the first red flag for me was when I was cast as Willy Wonka. Anyone who looks at me and thinks Willy Wonka and not Oompa Loompa is out of their mind. I give
that
off
is
major
true.
Oompa Loompa energy.
He and I are the same in that way.
Not like a good Oompa Loompa, not like one of the, like one that's at the back during the dance numbers, like falling over like your aunt at a line dancing class on holiday. But I got cast as the part on the Thursday, and was told that I needed to learn the script for the Friday. So I said, no problem, send it over. The script was 15 pages, monologue, pretty much.
They gave him 1 day to learn 15 pages? That's nuts.
Of AI-generated gibberish, which I will read some for you if you want.
Examples.
Because I learned it all, and it was mad.
He learned 15 pages in a day?
All in there. That's in my brain. So I'll give you one of the lines.
Well, he can't sue. I don't know why he would sue.
I'm not going to do the Willy Wonka voice because I think I've embarrassed myself enough over the last few days. But one of my favourite lines was, "There is a man who lives here. His name is not known. So we call him the Unknown. The Unknown is an evil chocolate maker who lives in the walls." What? What is an evil chocolate maker for a start? Is it a...
He is asking a very good question there. What is an evil chocolate maker? Another actor hired to be an Oompa Loompa is the star of a now viral photo showing her surrounded by a makeshift chemistry kit. Oh, yeah. Oh, amazing. What's the venue's take? I'm sure the venue doesn't care. They got paid. They're not handing out the the refunds. Probably not, right? Yeah, no, probably not. But what I was going to do, actually, I've already got Blu-ray.com open here. Is there any new news for this? I don't care about sales. Sure, this is something that we can talk about, right? Right? New restorations are coming, y'all. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, that Killer Clown from Outer Space one actually looks kind of cool. So Scream Factory, Shout Factory, they're like, hey, we need to put out some new stuff for May. We got to keep this content generator going. And it looks like we're getting the Island of Dr. Monroe Collector's Edition. Is this? Yeah, this is the Val Kilmer one. It always blows my mind how like critically panned films always end up getting, the collection edition treatment. Like that seems to be the way that we're going these days. And yet I, for some reason, can still not get a 4K release of Wing Commander. It's a goddamn shame. But it looks like we're getting a new 2K restoration of the director's cut from an Interpositive. Not bad. But it's only going to be 2K. It's not going to be in 4K. We are going to get, though, Killer Clowns from Outer Space in 4K. Oh my goodness. Does it show the packaging anywhere here? God, I think I saw this on Instagram. It's a pretty wild set. Is that it? I mean, there's some art for you for a bit of nightmares, right? Right? Yeah, you love knowing what your nightmares are going to look like. And yes, we are getting Dracula 2000 on Blu-ray finally. I would have assumed that already happened, but maybe it's a 4K version of it? I don't know. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, though, we're getting the 4K. It's a restoration from the original camera negative, which you'll love to see. Dolby Vision HDR presentation of the film, so it's going to be like probably the best looking version of that film that you could possibly imagine. And then Dracula 2000. Yeah, I need to know more about this. New 4K restoration from the original camera negative approved by Patrick Lucer, who I imagine is the director. New audio commentary. What about no music videos? The fact that they couldn't even be bothered to include the Slayer music video for Bloodline is a big, big problem. But it's just weird that this is getting like a 4K restoration, but it looks like it's just a normal Blu-ray. It's just a 2K disc. Does that mean that we potentially could get Dracula 2000 4K coming soon? What? Orphan as well. Greta and Hansel 4K Blu-ray. Some of the chat was mentioning this. I'm surprised Greta and Hansel wasn't already in 4K. That film has excellent cinematography. Well, it's not always what has the best cinematography. It's what's going to sell. That's there's your hot take. Also, I guess we're getting the Addams Family, the animated version, in 4K Blu-ray. Cool. Oh yeah, wait. Are they gonna show? No, I want the Killer Clowns from Outer Space, like the big one. The big one. That's the one I wanted. Also, it looks like we're getting a Departed 4K. I think you guys may have heard about it. That there's that Marvel is releasing a bunch of 4K stuff, but I think it's mostly for their TV series. So I therefore do not care. Are there any other cool stuff? Madam Web 4K Blu-ray. Whoa, wait. Star Trek 3, Search for Spock's Steelbook. Oh, man. I love Steelbooks that look way cooler than the film actually is. Oh, nostalgia. This is coming. I could have seen this in theaters. It was playing at TIFF not that long ago, but I fucked up and I didn't do it. I was probably doing something else that day, or I didn't get tickets because there are way too many TIFF members now and it's impossible to get tickets for the free movies. Hooray. We're also getting Fright, Count of Monte Cristo, Vinegar Syndrome March releases. All right. Let's look at a bunch of movies that I've never heard of, and yet will always wonder, are they good? Dr. Terror's House of Horrors. That looks kind of fun. Oh, is that... I feel like this is... Yeah, Christopher Lee's got to be in this. What about Peter Cushing? Yes! Yes! All right, that's sick. That's sick. I love it. I'm into it. New 4K restoration from the original camera negative, HDR presentation of the film. Man, you know what I realized the other day? I've now seen 2 Vinegar Syndrome releases. I saw their version of Roadhouse, and then I now own the Blu-ray for Righting Wrongs, which is a wild-ass movie. Also featuring Cynthia Rothrock, who I mentioned earlier in the stream. But Vinegar Syndrome, I don't know if anyone here knows this, for those of you who have actually got their discs before. They don't do chapters, eh? They don't have chapters in their Blu-rays and 4Ks. They do film reels instead. So you can't skip around scene to scene to scene. They give you only the film reel. So you can like skip to reel number 3, but then that's like a 10-minute block. But you can go to it if you want to. When I realized they were doing that, I was like, that's such a cool goddamn thing that only the audience of Vinegar Syndrome is going to enjoy. You have to be a cinephile to such an extreme and in such a way to appreciate that and to enjoy that only a company like Vinegar Syndrome could do that. Like not even the Criterion Collection could do that and get away with it. Only Vinegar Syndrome gets away with that. Story of a Junkie we're also getting. Singapore Sling, which is maybe this Spectres in My... Oh, no, it's this one. Oh, it's the BDSM one. Nice. Spectres, Maya, and Going South. Oh, wait. We got a trailer for Dr. Terror's House of Horrors. Let's go. Let's go.
There is within each of us a twin destiny, the natural and the supernatural. The cards are attracted to the supernatural
tarot?
part of that destiny.
Ooh, French tarot.
The strange,
The most terrifying
the
of tarot.
unknown, the terrifying.
Christopher Lee, no!
This deck can forewarn us. I call it my house of horrors.
The only way to kill a vampire
Wait.
is to drive a wooden stake
Is
through
that?
its heart.
You can fool
Holy
all these
shit.
others as much as you please, Doctor. But kindly leave
I was
me
about to
out.
say it's Christopher Plummer, but no, it's Donald Sutherland. Wrong Canadian,
want?
TJ.
Who are you?
Yo, that's sick, actually. So wait, who does Peter Cushing play in this, though? Is he the Dr. Terror? That's Christopher Lee. That's Donald Sutherland. I don't know these other three guys. Yeah, Donald Sutherland. Right. I was surprised too. This is great. I'm super into that now. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, we're not going to watch the trailer for Singapore Sling because I've... Wait, does someone get sucked into a bed in Spectre's Maya? Oh, it's a TV series, I think. Oh, by the way, Christopher Lee was there. Yeah, you didn't see Christopher Lee? He was the one... I said Christopher Lee, no. It's, where is it? Him. That's Christopher Lee right there. That's Count Dooku. Look at him. Look at him. There he is. There's Christopher Lee. Looking like he just walked off the set of Mad Men. But this trailer I saw the other day, Going South, it is a like early Jack Nicholson Western satire kind of thing. It looks kind of cool, honestly. Like it looks like Jack Nicholson is like doing almost a spoof on spaghetti westerns with this movie, but it doesn't seem like it goes spoofy enough to be a spoof. So it's kind of, I think it's meant to be like a tongue-in-cheek kind of, you know, wink and a nudge to spaghetti westerns.
Any man short of being a murderer can be saved from the gallows by any property-holding female, providing she decides to marry.
I wouldn't take you to a dog fight if you was the defending champ.
I'll take it.
It's a weird concept.
Well, I guess I don't get to carry you across the threshold. This a gold mine?
Where's the goddamn gold?
What gold?
That gold right there, goddammit, real gold. Where is it?
Big spoon. Are you gonna rob this stage or not?
Burn the breeze, Kyle, or I'm gonna blow everybody inside into feathers.
It's all right, Sheriff. You go on ahead. He's just trying to impress me.
Is that God, is it Mary Sturgburn? God, what is she in? Yeah. Oh, right, like the book club movies and Elf. Yeah. Yeah, she was the mother in Step Brothers as well. There you go. There's some Hollywood folk in a movie called Going South. Oh, her, yeah. Exactly. Don't you love those instances? Westerns are great for that. Oh, it's her. Who her? Her. There was also... Okay, so I just also want to look at the partner label stuff that Vinegar Syndrome was putting out this month because... And I saw someone in chat mention something about Godzilla -1. I am going to get to that. There was one cool thing here that I wanted to point out. Actually, there's just some general cool things, like Deaf Crocodile as an imprint label. They're cool. They put out good stuff. Huresa, I don't think Andrea's here anymore, but I'm pretty sure that she interviewed the director of Husera the Bone Woman. And I think that's probably on the Rue Morgue YouTube channel, so go check that out if you want. But yeah, the one that I saw for this that I wanted to point out, from the Canadian International Pictures, of course, TJ, the Canadian, is going to say things about Canada. It's important though. Animation Night in Canada Volume 1. 14 Oscar-nominated shorts from the National Film Board of Canada. And let me tell you that when it comes to animated shorts, nobody did it better than the NFB in the 60s and 70s. Nobody does it better. And so having this kind of collection with all of these films hopefully being restored is awesome. Like, you got Noma McLaren in here, a bunch of other directors who I don't really recognize. Michael Mills, I actually recognize him. But yeah, like, if you have any interest in animated shorts, you gotta check this out. Rent it, buy it, borrow it from a friend, but just please do it. And they also give you 8 additional shorts. Wait, they're including Neighbors as a special feature? Are you kidding? That should be front and fucking center. That's a hugely important animated film. Anyways, it's there. So there you go. That's sick. And it makes me wonder what they're going to include now in the volume 2. Like, if you got Neighbors, you got everything you need. What else is in here? Scalper, Insanity, Rebel. Oh my god, there's just so much stuff. Karate Contra Mafia. Yo, that's one that I want to know more about. That seems like it's very much into what I'm doing right now, or what I'm feeling right now. Is it a newer film though? Oh yeah, it is. Selection of French Kung Fu film trailers scanned in 35mm. Nice. Hold on, I need to see the trailer for that. Joba's World. No, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. You gotta show me the trailer. You gotta show me the trailer. Okay, in any case, we'll watch the trailer for the Canada animation stuff, because it's probably super sick. I love that logo too, and that logo. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That was maybe a boner. Oh, look at that. Oh, it looks so fucking good. Look at that stop motion work. Oh, that's beautiful stuff too. Oh, I've never seen these look this good. These colors are, I've only ever seen, like, I don't think I've seen like these ones specifically, but a lot of these I've only ever seen them in a kind of, what's the best way to say it? I've only ever seen them in a reduced form, let's say. This movie reminds me of Cannibal Holocaust. What? This movie? Still confused why they didn't just include Neighbors as part of this. It's so iconic in Canadian animation history. Jack and the Beanstalk. A little spooky, some spooky stuff. It's a ghost! Hell yeah. Now what about that Huresa one? Curious about this. What's up with this? Okay. Blessing the womb? Oh, they're having a baby, probably. Ah, creepy child. Creepy child.
Felicidades. Ya se te estaba pasando el tren. ¿Estás contenta?
Feliz.
¿Y eso que no te gustan los niños?
Que no te truenes los dedos, Valeria. Vas a quedar
I'll give you
chueca.
arthritis. End up crooked. Well, with arthritis. Ah!
Lo que te está pasando es de lo más normal. Cuando uno se convierte en mamá, siente que se está partiendo en dos. Y espérate al parto. Literal, sientes que se te parten los huesos.
Looks like it was shot really well. I mean, we might as well watch Necronom Idol Ritual, right? That seems like the appropriate thing to watch right after that is a music video from a heavy metal idol group from Japan, right? Look at how evil they are. Look at them being evil on the streets. All right, enough of that. Oh, Japan, you're the best. This sounds great. That song's not bad. I've listened to some of their other stuff, and it's not as good. But that song, yeah, that song's all right. I don't think there was any other release news I wanted to talk about. Was there? Def Leppard did some stuff. Special Ops Linus, now I don't care about that. Eureka Entertainment. Wait, what are they putting out? The Valiant ones. A Queen's Ransom. What is Prison Walls? Ugh, the one that I'm interested in, they don't have. Insert meme of Martin Scorsese holding his hands up and saying absolute cinema. For the music video? For the music video, you mean? Yeah, I agree. That was. Oh, Prison Walls. Okay, yeah. Oh, it's a 3-film collection. Trans Infinite. Okay. It's a prison movie. A Yakuza prison movie. Cool. Had never heard of that until now. Radiance. Man, their stuff just looks so cool. I was kind of sad, though. Like, when I, like, started looking at, like, Radiance... when I started looking at like these in my local video store, I realized very quickly that this like big blue thing on the left-hand side, which is different colors depending on which film you end up getting, is actually just like a little insert that goes away. And I don't want it to go away. I want it to look like that all of the time. I love that look. Keep that forever. Whoever's working at Radiance, just like have this be how your covers look. It's distinctive, it's bold, it looks fucking cool. Like just do it. Please, just do it. So now someone mentioned in the chat that Godzilla -1 is coming out on Janus Films for Blu-ray. Is that right? The original Godzilla. This was coming out, that was 6 months ago. That was, yeah, that's something else. I don't see anything for Godzilla -1. Hold on. Here's first look at Blu-ray. Yeah, I don't think that's something that Janus Films will be doing. Comes out shortly. You can see below. The team at Toho Company shared a first look. Oh, this is probably in Japan. Maybe it's been hailed. Yeah. Interesting. So what about Godzilla -1 USA Blu-ray? Baby. Doesn't currently have a release date. This, I think, is talking about Japan once again. Will be announced soon. Yeah, if you're still here, person in the chat who brought this up, where did you see this information? Where did you see that? Because I am not finding anything about that. It'd be cool to find out one way or the other. Uh-oh. Let's see. Did I just show anything that I shouldn't have? Ooh, mortgage documents. Vector condo expenses. Cool. Nothing too embarrassing there. Twitter, physical media. Exclusive. Oh, wait. Burr. Toho is planning to work with Janus to distribute Godzilla -1 on physical media in the United States. Oh, is planning to work with. That... Yeah, I mean, like, you hope that turns out to be true and real and stuff, but, like... Doesn't necessarily mean that it will be. I am going to follow this person, though. Although, wait, they paid for a blue check mark. Nope. We don't follow blue check marks here. Wait. Kino Lorber? They have a blue check mark? Why? Why would they do that? Why would they give Elon Musk money? Ugh. See, Arrow Films, they know what's going on. They don't do that shit. Oh yeah, I guess they announced their releases here. Arrow Video. The Shootist is supposed to be a really good Western. I think that's a late career John Wayne Western. Maybe his last good one, if I'm remembering it correctly. I need to check out Dark Water, the original Dark Water. I think I've only ever seen the American remake. Anyways, let's get away from Twitter. It'll only melt your brain and make you dumber. Okay. Oh, Jesus, I just closed all my internets. No, my internets. Okay, so actually, everyone, I think I did everything I set out to do in this live stream. So I'm going to call it there. This is a bit of a short one. You may not be able to tell, but I got very little sleep last night. Well, I mean, I got sleep. I'm really tired is what I'm trying to say. So thank you, everyone, for coming in, for joining in. Remember, I'm going to talk a little bit longer, a tiny bit longer, because if you haven't put in your Cinemateq Film Award ballot, you are not going to be able to once this stream is over. So go fill it out now and submit it now. Do it, please. I am going to sit here for a few moments to give you this final opportunity because I'm a nice guy. But please submit it right now. In fact, I'm going to double check to make sure that I, in fact, submitted mine properly so it counts. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that I am not doing the dumb thing that I'm hoping other people haven't also done. Okay, Palpatine. Somehow I returned. That's never going to get old because it's fucking stupid, J.J. Abrams. Ugh. So apparently I will still talk a little bit about modern mainstream films. Yeah. Oh, wait, I gotta do the other thing. I'm a dummy. I'm not a dummy, I just have a bad memory sometimes. Alright, so should I start doing mushrooms or taking edible marijuana? What do you think, chat? What do you think? Make the decision for me. And here I'll give you some pros and cons. Pro, marijuana. It's less expensive. I just discovered this, that edible mushrooms, well, mushrooms are edible on their own, but they taste like shit. I'm talking about mushrooms in an edible form that doesn't taste like shit. Those cost a lot more. Like mushroom gummies, those cost some money. Whereas edible marijuana is cheaper, but also to get it in the concentrations where it would affect someone of my size, I guess it also gets a little bit more expensive. Con marijuana, depending on the strain I take, it makes me feel like either the world is vibrating and trying to throw me off of it, or I just fall asleep. And that's not the kind of trip that I want to have. Whereas for mushrooms, I think they actually give me energy. At least that's what I experienced last time. So I don't know if they would be the best thing to have if, like, it's a Friday, I'm getting home from work, and instead of having a couple of beers, I have a mushroom edible. That doesn't do me any good if I'm up until like 4 a.m. because these mushrooms are keeping me awake, right? Like that doesn't help me. Okay, I have for sure responded. Good. I'm not going to ballot stuff. I'm not going to vote twice. I like tea with warm milk. That's cool. I don't drink milk, naturally. Although I do like tea. Maybe I should do tea instead. Can tea get you high? Really, I'm just looking for something that will allow me to have a good time, but is not alcohol, But I do. It's not. Oh, shit. Sorry, I got a little loose there. My bad. TJ, don't do drugs. I've already done drugs. What are you talking about? Look, if you're doing non-addictive drugs, like shrooms, I'm pretty sure shrooms and both weed are like non-addictive. If you're doing those kinds of like lighter ones, I think that's, and this is just my opinion, I think that's infinitely better than alcohol. Alcohol is addictive. Alcohol can fuck you up. Alcohol can fuck your life up, and it has for a lot of people out there. Marijuana, mushrooms, I think they're both non-habit forming, and they can help with things like depression and anxiety. Well, marijuana can. Mushrooms I'm not so sure about. So, like, I tend to agree that, like, drugs on the whole, try to avoid them. I haven't tried cocaine. I haven't tried heroin. I haven't tried crack. Because those are drugs that'll fuck you up, I think. But weed and mushrooms, I think those are fine. You just got to be careful. With them. Indian action films will provide you with a good time. Oh man, you guys are great. I start talking about drugs and you start giving me things to do other than drugs. Although I will say, when I saw Tiger Cage, got my heart racing, and that had nothing to do with what I was imbibing at the time. What is your favorite Paul Mescal performance? Is After Sun. Yeah, it'd be After Sun. I just saw that episode of Abbott Elementary where they tried teaching kids not to do drugs, but all the teachers were doing drugs. Yep. You can do some drugs responsibly. Just don't smoke crack. I haven't seen After Sun, so I would go with All of Us Strangers. There you go. I haven't seen All of Us Strangers, so I went with the opposite. Although I have seen Carmen, and while he's good in Carmen, it's not After Sun good. So there you go. All right. You've all had your opportunities. It's getting closed down. It's getting shut down. It's closing time. Don't forget, Oscar pool. Fucking vote in it. Cinemateq Film Awards. You probably won't be able to hit submit by the time I finish this thing, but if you can, and if you do, good luck to you. Remember, next live stream, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday. We're getting going, and we're going hard, and we're going hot. That's how we're going to be doing the Cinemateq Film Awards. So please make sure to show up for 2 p.m. Eastern Standard sharp. And I will be putting reminders in the Discord and on the community page in YouTube, but you've been warned. We're not going to be fucking around. We're going to be handing out awards, baby. Yes, we will. And hopefully I will be riding on the high of a Liverpool win over Man City. Good God, that would make my day so much better. Oh, wait, no. Did that get moved to Sunday? It might have. I think it probably did. Yeah, I think it did. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Have a good week. Go watch Dune Part 2 if you haven't yet. And until Saturday, watch more movies all the time.